Hey, my name is Jerry McMillan, and the reason we are here today is to talk about becoming masters of our universe. And the implication there is there are masters of the universe, and we want to take back control of our own universe. And let's explain that. First of all, taking back your millions from the masters of the universe. Some of you may say you don't know you had millions, but I guarantee you, if you have $50,000 today invested over a 20-year period, that can very well be $1 million, and based on your assumption. So, 50,000 today, 20,000 today, 100,000 today is indeed a future value of $1 million, and it doesn't take 100 years to get there. So literally taking back your thousands is the same as taking back your millions from the masters of the universe who control the money. Who are these masters of the universe, you might add? Just as it says here, they control and direct the capital in our economy. They determine which industries grow. They determine which companies grow. They determine which communities grow. They control the wealth for generations, who has it and who doesn't. They plan the work. Other people work their plans, and we are going to transition to planning our work and working our own plan as opposed to being subjects of the masters of the universe. Today we're talking about how you can make those millions and take them back. And the first question is it real? Reasonable question I always ask. Let's take a look at the evidence. We're looking directly at IRS documents. The first document that we want to look at is Publication 590. The other one that we have here is one that's put out by the IRS, Accumulation and Distribution of Individual Retirement Arrangements. Now that's the first disclosure and enlightenment that we have, because when we say IRAs, to us IRAs means individual retirement accounts, but the IRS documentation speaks to individual retirement arrangements. So how did arrangements get to be accounts? Well, back in the 70s, when IRAs became the law of the land, the masters of the universe, principally in New York and Chicago, immediately saw that we would have trillions invested, and they developed individual retirement accounts and began to convince us that the only place that we could put our $5 trillion is in their accounts controlled by the masters of the universe. Now you can see that we've had trillions of dollars for decades now, and that the masters of the universe take that money and they determine what industries grow, what communities grow, and divvy up you some meager returns and sometimes losses. Now, of that 5 trillion, we actually move 300 billion a year in rollover, another 60 billion a year in Roth conversions, and we actually contribute new another 50 billion. So it's almost 450 billion a year of movement that we move of our money, give it to the masters of the universe to do with what they want, and make bazillions of dollars off it. I put that in perspective, our tiny little 3 to 400 billion. Those numbers that we move every year, about 450 billion, is enough to balance the ubiquitous federal budget deficit. We heard a lot about it. Those are the numbers. It's back down to pre-stimulus levels, under 500 billion. And that put the 5 trillion into perspective. We could have actually paid off the federal debt 5 years ago with $5 trillion. Okay, it's mushroomed to 16 trillion, but so we've got a lot of money that we are moving, that we put in the hands of the masters of the universe, and then bury our head in the sands and let them tell us what's going to happen with our money and explain the returns to us and the lack thereof, while they get richer and richer. Yes, that's the game of the masters of the universe. So our current opportunities, every year 5 million people are moving and investing, on average $70,000. When we move, average rollover is about 66,000. The average Roth conversion is about 74,000. And every year we're moving this money, putting it from from one master of the universe to the other, and same old game. So what we want to talk about is the fact that only 2% of IRA owners are free of the masters of the universe. Only 2% are outside that shell game. How are they doing it? I'm going to talk some more about that. The guidance is in IRS publication 590, which I mentioned earlier, and there's a copy of it right there on the screen for you. It is the ultimate go-to document on individual retirement arrangements, okay? And what we're going to specifically talk about within that is self-directed IRA as opposed to a master of the universe directed IRA. There are lots of eligible investments, right? Look at the real estate opportunities that you have. Your IRA can invest in single-family homes, multifamily, apartment, condominiums, commercial property, unimproved land, foreclosures directly through your IRA. The masters of the universe will never tell you that. Investment possibilities, yeah, everyone isn't intended to be a direct player in real estate or other industries that they may want to invest in. And so you can participate in various and sundry ways through various ventures, partnerships, companies. You can be the lender on real estate. You can be the mortgagee on real estate, and options. Lots of opportunities, but the masters of the universe will never, ever tell you that you don't have to have them control your money, of course. Now, it's explicit what you cannot do. One of the biggies that you cannot do is self-dealing. So because the logic of the IRA is to encourage investing for long-term retirement, because we were woefully undersaving as a nation, and still are, quite frankly. But you cannot use that money then for today's earnings, so it can't be a shell of a retirement arrangement. It must be real. You can't deal with yourself or your spouse, your ancestors, parents or grandparents, your lineal descendants, your son-in-law, daughter-in-law. All those people are disqualified. Anyone who advises your IRA plan, a fiduciary, anybody in an advisory capacity who provides services, a company that you own more than 50% of, if you're investing in that company, then that's self-dealing. So these are things that are prohibited because it needs to be arm's length transaction, because you are getting tax deductions for this. There are tax benefits with the assumption that you're not using this money to consume, you're using this money to grow it for your retirement. So you cannot run the risk of self-dealing. Now, transactions that are prohibited with these disqualified people, you can't sell, exchange, or lease property with them. You can't lend them money from your IRA. You can lend them out of your pocket, not from your IRA. Furnishing goods and services, so if your IRA is in a business and all of your family happen to come in and get stuff for free, that's not allowed. You can't transfer or use stuff for the benefit of any disqualified person. You can't buy a beach house in your IRA as an investment and then have your daughter and son-in-law live in it. That's not allowed. Okay, so you just can't do self-dealing. Okay, now the IRS really doesn't tell you what you can invest in. It tells you what you cannot invest in, as you see here. Two types of investments that are expressly and explicitly prohibited. Life insurance contracts, that speaks for itself. You can't go buy a single premium life insurance policy. You can't go dump a bunch of money, IRA money, in an insurance policy and call it an investment. I don't care if it's variable, annuity, universal, pick an alphabet soup. You can't do life insurance contracts. Collectibles. So what's a collectible? Any work of art your IRA can't invest in it. Rugs, antiques, metals, gems, stamps, can't do it. Sports entertainment cards and memorabilia, can't do it. No Mickey Mantle rookie cards, no Michael Jordan investment in basketball signs, sneakers, and no wine collections and scotch collections. Coins, off limits. One exception is expressly minted U.S. coins that are 99.999% pure. Who determines that? I don't know. And certain bullion that can be settled on the commodities exchange. So if it's exotic, it's probably outside the scope of what you can do in the IRA. But there are lots that you can do. Now let's take a look at now that we know there's a big pool of money and it's real and that it's our money, okay, that we can unleash and take advantage of. Let's take a look at what the current opportunity is for us in that. First of all, you say, the masters of the universe, they're brilliant. They're Wall Street guys. Let's take a look at the last bear market. The IRAs 2006 to 2009, actually, our balances went up. You say, well, that's because we're putting in new money. Well, we put in about $150 billion during that 3-year period, 200 billion if you want to call it 4 years. So it didn't, that wouldn't avoid, but what that says is we're pretty conservative in our investments, and so during the bear market, we didn't tumble. But that also says that during growth periods, we're missing out on it, and the masters of the universe is paying us piddly amounts, and they're extracting all this growth. So they're making money when we go down, they're making money when we go up, of course. Now, IRA stayed steady, but look at the Dow Jones during that same period. Lost over half its value. The chart you see is actually the S&P. It lost 46% of its value during that same period that our piddly little IRAs stayed strong. Balances continue to grow. We had 51 billion a year, so it's real. It's real money. It's there, and the masters of the universe get to take full advantage of it. Now, our opportunities. So you can maximize your nest egg versus leaving it on the table for the masters of the universe. $70,000 on average. Leave it with the masters of the universe. They extract tremendous gains from it. Today's topic, taking back your millions from those masters of the universe. How do we do that? Again, self-directed IRA, common real estate investments. That's where we're focusing primarily on the single-family housing, but the rest of it is open. But for our discussion, where we are going is we are going to unleash out those dollars that are trapped, put them to work, and take advantage of some of these growth markets, okay? Eligible investments, as we discussed. Value proposition. You get to increase your returns. IRA custodian, we have a custodial entity, and we get to manage and help you direct those things. And hopefully, now, you don't have to use our custodial. I'll show you in a minute a list of established custodians that you can use as well. We recommend that you work with us, of course, because what we really want to do is we want to direct some of that investment as the masters of the universe into one, housing, fundamental market, fundamental commodity in the United States, call centers, so that we can repatriate some jobs that have been sent overseas. We want to bring them back. We want to bring them back, and we want to work with industries to deal with our customers at home, with our people at home, providing them services, and technical training centers so that we can create clean, skilled job workers who can participate in the new economy, who can buy our houses and create money to invest and we can all move forward. So that's the value proposition. You benefit, win-win-win situation, and we can get going right now. As I said, there are a number of custodians that have been around for a long, long time. The Equity Trust, I've been a customer of theirs for a decade. There's others that aren't on this list. Guardian, I took this from an article. Guardian is one that's been around for a long time that's not on this list. So there are established companies that have been around, and I'll show you a copy of a letter where I had my attorney go out and look at. I actually discovered this self-directed IRA opportunity 10, 11, 12 years ago on the street. From a little old lady who was dealing properties, and she mentioned the Equity Trust at that time was Mid-Ohio Securities, and I said, what? And I went and got my attorney, and I'll show you the letter where the attorney checked it out, and I was like, wow, how come I didn't know this? And all my financial knowledge and experience, the little lady's teaching me stuff about finance, and I'm a finance MBA type guy. Go figure. But there are established custodians, and the way we do it, empathy and respect, step by step. We analyze, we target, we process your rollover, and help you with your initial investment package, deliver it fully executed, ensure quality assurance, and watch your investment grow. Initial transfer and direction of investment, which we just talked about. Second phase, we manage those transactions and make sure that they're completed, that they're documented, and that they're legal, and that they roll into another transaction. And then from there, we just do the same thing over and over for success. Winning team, there's obviously competencies that are involved in making this happen. We've got the rollover transaction specialty, customer service, financial custodian, training, information forms. We bring all of those support activities to the table so that you can effectively and actively manage, track, and watch the growth of your millions outside of the control of the masters of the universe. See a little bit about my background. Next steps, let's get started. Let's get to work. Let's start making those thousands turn into millions and free you from the masters of the universe.